Good afternoon, Central Kentucky. Michael Prather, Keller Williams, Bluegrass Realty, and the Prather team. I'm sitting here with Matt Ledford.
How's it going?
Awesome. Good. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Matt's a good buddy and a past client that we've helped his wife and himself buy a house. It's been, many years ago. I don't remember exactly.
It was about 4 years ago when we bought our first one.
Okay, 4 years ago, and they did not have a little baby girl at that time that they since have. Mm-hmm. And Matt and Natalie were needing to get more of a house. They wanted to change locations. They were in Jessamine County and looking to come into Lexington. And we were running into the exact same conversation that I think all of us realtors, as well as consumers here in Central Kentucky, we're finding that, hey, we would love to sell, but we have nothing to buy. And, this conversation has been going on in my brain for, 2 years. And we started getting proactive with our Realtor Association to think about, hey, how do we take a very common contingency that buyers all the time say, hey, my contract to buy your house is contingent upon me selling and closing on our existing home. A lot of times it's just purely because of finance. And so I started thinking, why don't we reverse that contingency and have the seller that says, hey, I would love to sell, but there's nothing to buy. I don't want to be homeless. How do we take, in theory, that same contingency and give it back to the buyer, saying, hey, buyer, we will work with you if you'll work with us and, get under contract with you. And we've got to go find our replacement property, find a successful property that we want to buy, and then we will close with you. So with that said, we started going down this path in conversation. Mm-hmm. And even though we've known each other for a long time, I helped you guys buy your first property. Yep. It still took a little convincing.
It did for sure.
On my part to help you understand, hey, I promise you're not going to be left homeless. Right. So tell me what was, going through your mind as we were really starting to, broach these conversations, because in my brain, I thought, well, golly, don't you trust me?
Right.
And it still took, a couple weeks and multiple offers that we kept on getting beat out because we had a property we had to sell and close on, and it wasn't even on the market.
Right.
So how many multiple offers did we go through?
I think we had at least 2, if not 3. And every time that happened, it was, it was one of those situations where, it's a strong offer, but it's contingent on your selling. So I think that kind of just kept hitting us hard, especially when we found some place that we really liked. And we felt like we were putting forth a very strong offer above ask. And we're still getting shot down. I think it took that and our brains to say we need to do something different, because if we keep doing the same thing, then we're going to keep getting the same results, especially in that competitive market.
Absolutely.
It was going to be really tough.
Well, that is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting different results. And that's really, how the conversations continued with, once again, our Realtor Association. Hey, how do we get everybody on the same page? We got to get one page. Mm-hmm. So we have created a seller purchase of replacement property addendum. And so I really want to push forward and let this forum be, and I'd like to start doing this consistently on a weekly basis and find a day and time that works, that we can start educating not only the consumer, but us fellow agents, because I talk to a lot of agents, in my particular office, as well as throughout Central Kentucky. And, the conversation is, hey, are you familiar with this form? Yes, we are. Have you used it? No, we haven't. Well, what do you think about it? I don't like it. Well, what do you not like about it? I don't know. And so I think we've got to really, start to understand it and educate, because right now, I just pulled up recently today, there's 128 active listings in all of Fayette County.
Wow.
Just extremely low amounts of inventory. Yeah. Scott County, a little over 100. Madison County, just under 100. So we've got to be able to loosen up the market and have 5 and 6 and 7 and 800 houses. And yes, it's not going to be a perfect solution in every situation, because you might have a buyer that says, I can't wait. That's okay.
Yeah.
They're not your buyer.
Right.
You know, you just had a little baby. You didn't want to be homeless.
Yes.
So we ended up getting under contract with a gentleman, and I can't remember all the details, but I'm pretty sure we were in a multiple offer situation for people trying to buy your property.
For sure.
This gentleman that ended up buying it had a VA loan. So we have the seller now having to pay for a pest inspection report. We had an appraisal that the seller had to put up a handrail. This gentleman needed closing costs. So he's really at a disadvantage in trying to be in a multiple offer situation. So he's probably not going to win a multiple offer. Same situation you were in. You were trying to buy a house with a house that you had to close on, and it wasn't even on the market.
Right.
You're not going to win a multiple offer.
Exactly.
In this market, people are paying cash. People are paying well over asking price. They're waiving appraisal clauses. They're waiving inspection clauses. So what this form also will do is it'll start to level the playing field for the person that needs closing costs, that does have a loan type that requires a little bit more of the seller. So to me, this was the perfect example of, you know, really starting a conversation. And we want our fellow agents to, you know, get this form out, read it, start to embrace it, and, you know, be able to move people around in Central Kentucky.
Right.
So tell us about the new house you're in and how all that's working.
Well, we love it. You know, we bought a house off Tate Creek Road. It was a multiple offer situation, but we ended up with the best offer in that situation. I think we probably wouldn't have gotten it if we hadn't have had what we had in the first place. I think the thing that helped us out even more was that house probably wasn't in our budget at first, but because we were able to use this and put our house on the market and then see how much we could get for it, that then allowed us to adjust our budget and say, hey, we can actually afford this instead of what we thought we could sell it for before, which then opened us up to different homes and different prices that we could offer on a house.
And that is such a great point, that we have watched that numerous times, that we're encouraging people, hey, please, you know, let us explain this form to you, that it very clearly states that it's contingent upon the successful sale and closing. So you've got it stacked, domino as we call it, with your current property that you have to sell, but you also have to, you know, buy and close on this one. So we get it all lined up. So it takes a very skilled real estate agent and team to make this happen. That's us. And, you know, we were, you know, encouraging people to get their house on the market so we can see, you know, what your equity position is going to be. Because, you know, right now people are paying tens of thousands of dollars over market value. So it allowed Matt and Natalie to get into another price range. B, be in a multiple offer situation that we can say, hey, we are under contract. We are through inspections. We are through appraisal. All we very simply need to do now is just push forward and finish the underwriting, which it was basically already fully underwritten. And it's as best of a contingent that we can pass on to the potential seller of the property we're looking to buy.
Right.
And we did win the multiple offer. And we were up against properties that didn't have things to sell. But there's always more variables than just price to negotiate. So once again, this is where it just takes, you know, a good team and takes trust.
For sure.
And I so appreciate you coming over and chatting about this.
Of course.
That I just, you know, really want everybody to just know we got to do something different. We can't, once again, keep expecting different results with the same activity. So any thoughts, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Prather team. My cell phone readily available, 859-983-2732. And of course, you can go to pratherteam.com and be able to call our concierge service at any time, be able to email us with any questions. We can get you in communication with Matt and Natalie to know that they're telling you the God's honest truth. And we would love to, you know, serve you. But most importantly, I want to help all of our fellow realtors to get very comfortable with this form, because we've got to loosen up inventory levels. And it's just going to be, you know, what's healthy for the entire market. As inventory levels go up, it stabilizes pricing. It's just going to give more people opportunities. Interest rates are definitely pushing up, so it just continues to be one of the best times ever to move around. So let's take full advantage of that. So, Cole, do we have any questions, thoughts, anything coming in we can help anybody out with?
Doesn't look like anything just yet, so yeah.
Okay. Anything in parting you can think of?
I think in the end, this addendum gave us a little bit of a peace of mind of knowing how much we were able to put forth in an offer on another house, and it gave us that little bit of extra security, especially after we had gone through those multiple offer situations, and kind of feel that hurt of, gosh, I'm putting myself out there, I'm way over ask, but there's still 15 other offers.
Yeah.
What else can I do to diversify my offer to make it better? And this definitely helped and didn't leave us in a situation where we had to stay with parents for a couple weeks or a couple months while we found a house, or whatever it may be, stay somewhere else that wasn't in our home. We were able to stay in our home with someone that was flexible with moving in, and I think we might still be waiting and trying to find a house and calling you every once in a while about a house that we were looking for if it wasn't for this.
And so many people just, aren't in the lucky position as you're describing to, have family to go live with in the short run. I remember us also truly really thinking back about this now. We made our purchase contract not contingent, if you remember, upon the other property needing to sell. I'm remembering this now. And you were in the financial position to be able to pull that off.
Yes.
Yet you had the confidence to know that we'd already, gone through all the different steps, that we were 99.9% sure that it was all going to come together. So, there is no perfect situation. What this form allows us to do is to have a conversation. And when you have reasonable people, that are buying, reasonable people we hope that are selling, you have very skilled agents, that are here in essence like your attorneys in court of law to help us get through, these treacherous waters. We can, arrive in the new house and be able to celebrate not only Halloween, but your first Christmas with your baby girl.
That's right. It was awesome.
Well, we appreciate you letting the Breakthrough team be part of that whole process.
Sure.
And
thanks so much.
And anybody that has questions about this that you're working with or that Natalie's working with, send them our way.
Right. Sounds good.
Buddy, I appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate it, Michael.
Go Cats.
Yes, that's right.
Have a great evening, folks. Thank you.